Have you ever found the comfort in a place you knew you couldn't stay? Unfortunately, I did, and it didn't lead to anything good, except one little thing. I wrote a poem about it, and it's called The Shelter. We both wanted to meet somebody new, to hang out for a while without thinking of the future view. We only wanted to see a smile. Knowing our time had a deadline, we skipped the stranger's line, speaking a language foreign to both of us, creating secret jokes with trust. Silly things brought us endless laughter, creating another language only we could master, going overtime and crossing multiple lines. We kept ignoring the signs. Hiding in dim light where the world couldn't see us, where we could ignore the outside swirl, living in a pink garage, being a good boy and good girl. It was a temporary shelter that began to feel like home. Every day we started to like it better, no longer willing to roam. Blissful ignorance kept us inside, or maybe it was the outside we feared to guide. As our nights began with sunset's glow, while the dark shadows carried a golden sparkle, but time was running out, and sunrise carried a fog of doubt, casting shadows on the fleeting joy, as we questioned what we've been trying to avoid. You know, the times when you're kind of over being in a relationship, but at the same time you want to meet somebody new, but you don't want to deal with any of the adulthood stuff. You just want to see a smile. You just want to have a good times, to enjoy some nice shared nights, to enjoy some shared laughter, some shared silly talks. You just don't want to be an adult for at least for a while. And when I wrote this poem, I was in that kind of state that I tried to have at least something, to have some fun, to experience something new. I just wanted to be with somebody, to share some laughter and to create some new memories. So I wanted to meet somebody new, to hang out for a while, but I probably wasn't in a state where I could deal with all the adulthood stuff. Or maybe it wasn't that I really wasn't in the state of it, but perhaps it was so hard to find something real. It's like because I craved to have something real. I craved to have like what I could see all around me, because it seems that people constantly are having some good relationships and they are in love and all those things, but for me it's such a foreign concept. Like literally, yes, perhaps I'm not leaving my house that much but it's also I am an amazing person and I'm kind of open to it, but it seems that no one is willing to match my openness. I'm not a bad person, I am the kindest person you will talk to, but at the same time people are kind of like scared to approach me, and something is just not really working out with me and relationship, or wasn't, because now I'm manifesting it. But at the time when I wrote this poem, I just wanted to experience something. I just wanted to be this little kid on a playground and find some friend also that is sitting on this playground and just play in the sand a little. So I just wrote it, and when I met that person, you know, those kind of relationship when you know that it has some deadline, and that's kind of why the relationships are good, because when it has some deadline, all I had in my head was, okay, I won't have to take care of anything. I won't need to be dealing with all those, you know, like relationship or like real, I'm not sure, like ship with the ship messes, basically, that it will take care of itself, that I won't have to do anything, because yeah, it is this period of time, nothing really can happen during that period of time, right? So it's completely safe, it's just some playing around, completely safe. When you are in this state where you kind of want to find somebody new and to spend the time with someone, you are just kind of skipping the strangest lines, because as the kid on the playground, when you are starting to play with somebody, or when the kids are starting to play with somebody on the playground, they don't really care about all the background or about some deeper stuff. Like literally they are like, they will say their names to each other, perhaps they will talk a little, and probably what's the most important is that they will kind of match their energy, and they're in certain aspects like each other, and so they will start playing, and it feels like they are best friends suddenly, or that they want to spend time with each other, and they're like, okay, so when I will see you next time, yeah, we can meet, we can schedule some time, or their parents can schedule their time and like meet there again so they can spend time together, because it seems that they are really enjoying each other. And like, why take away something that's already established, or why take away something that's good, that's working, that you have a good time, and you don't care about the stranger's line? So even if you are speaking a language that is foreign to both of you, like, you will create a new language. Basically, you will create a new language that only you two can understand, and in that language, you will begin to create secret jokes. So literally, when somebody is watching you, or you have these mushy voices, and you are like, yeah, they did that, and you know that guy, do you know what they did? And you kind of, I think, find such a joy in those small moments, like literally those silly things. And even when you are an adult, and when you kind of want to have something serious, when it is not really working out, or if you can't find it, if you are in the same situation as me, that I truly want to have it, and now more than ever, when I healed all the stuff I didn't even know I needed to heal, it's like, yes, that's my priority. I want to have it. I am no longer willing to go on the playground just to, like, I want you also to take me home. I will play with you on the playground. I will build sandcastles, and I will be silly with you because I want that. But also, you have to take me home. And if you don't take me home, then I'm not in the right playground. But at the time, it was just creating those silly jokes, and it felt like I needed that, and it was such a good relief for my whole body, for my mind, for my whole heart. It felt so much needed, and so it was those silly things that brought you such a lot. Or you can be laughing at stupid things for hours, and then when you come home, you're all giggly and wiggly, and then you are, oh, that was nice, I want to see that person again. But you are still living in that kind of state that this time has a deadline. You know that it has deadline and it will end. But then suddenly, people, or like you or that other person, will start doing these sketchy things, or these little things that you're like, that's interesting. That's really interesting. For example, in my case, if I should be completely honest, when I was with that other person, and one day he told me, because he was supposed to be in my country for a really short amount, like for a month or month and a half, I guess, and I was like, yeah, and then it's done. I can live on with my life. I don't need to worry about anything. The problem was that then he told me that, oh, I will stay another month. And I remember recording a voiceover to my friend, and I was like, do you know what he told me? He's staying another month. Do you understand? He's staying another month. What am I supposed to do? It was supposed to end. I didn't, like, what? I was panicking so freaking hard, because it suddenly was like, this wasn't the plan, like, you were supposed to go away. And especially when you are sharing the laughter, and when you are silly with that person, it's just matter of the time when something will start bloom out of it. It's literally just matter of the time. Like, when you are just in this blissful state, when you are so happy with each other, when the time will be prolonged, you will start crossing multiple lines. And the thing is, at the beginning, but also at that time, you are still kind of not worried about those lines, because there is still kind of like, yeah, it has that line, like, nothing will come out of it, or there is no point, like, yes, it is like written on the paper. So you are not worried about those lines, because those lines are not even written, like, there is no lines to be crossed. But suddenly, you are crossing those lines. And you don't care that you are crossing them, because you are kind of still like, yeah, it has deadlines, like, what are you worried about? Nothing to be worried about. And there are these signs in your head, but also in what is happening, what is that other person doing. There are the signs, but you are ignoring them. Both of you are ignoring the signs. You know that you are ignoring the signs, or that you ignored the signs, because I did the same. We did the same. Because why would you point at the signs when you are literally hiding in dim light? Like you are hiding from the reality. Outside world is spotlight, but you're hiding in the dim light where only shadows could creep in, but you're not caring about those shadows because oh, that must be a candlelight, right? Those are not shadows, those are not our future or past shadows. Those are just candlelights that we can ignore because we live inside in our pink rush. We don't care about anything, but we are just being good boy and good girl. Or good girl, good girl, good boy, good boy. We are just living with each other, and it is like we don't care. And so it was a temporary shelter that began to feel like home. And if a temporary shelter begins to feel like home, if somebody who has a deadline in your life, who you know that they won't stay, if they will start to feel like home, you have a problem. You have a big problem. And especially when you're not sure if the feelings are the same for the other person or if it's the same for the other person, it just, you are screwed. But also, can you think about it? You are not thinking about it, you don't care about it, you are not able to think about it because you are still living in that state where every day you are starting to like it better, no longer willing to roam. You are no longer willing to go to other playgrounds. You don't even need to go to other playgrounds. Like you found your favorite playground and you want to stay there with that person. You want to play with them. You want to spend time with them. You want to share laughter with them. You want to do that. And soon, suddenly, you are also willing to go outside of that playground. Like, okay, this is our small world and we like it there. This is really enjoyable and I like you. But and now I'm also willing to go outside with you. Like, yes, you can also take me home and I can show you my home. We can do it. But it was the blissful ignorance that kept us inside. It was the fact that the outside, there is many questions, there are many things to deal with, there are many aspects, there are many people, there are many opinions, many demons, many ghosts of the past, many problems of the future, heaviness of the present. So it's like, yeah, this is good, so why should we go outside when we can be inside? Outside is cold, we can be inside where it is warm. And so when the outside is cold, aren't you afraid to guide it there? Inside is warm, inside is security, inside is something you know, but the outside, there is something you don't know. There is no comfort. It is unknown zone. So aren't you afraid to guide it there? I was, perhaps. I definitely was afraid to guide it there because I knew that the moment we will step outside of that playground, that at that moment we will have to deal with it, that we will have to deal with everything that will come with it, that outside was uncertain, inside was, it had deadline, but it was already something that was certain. So I was afraid, but the thing is that even though I was scared I was so much scared, but I was still willing to do it because I wanted to go home. And sitting there on that playground, time is running out. Tick, tack, tick, tack. You are sitting there the whole night, you are sharing your nights and you are sitting there, but suddenly you can see already sunrise approaching. You can see that the colors are changing and the sun is beginning to come out. And it carries the fog of doubt. Like the morning fog, it began to creep out, and with each passing moment, it's closer and closer to you. And you have to deal with it. So you begin to question the things you've been trying to avoid so hard, like all the things that you feared to guide. Suddenly it is here because your time is over. That playground is being closed and you have to move. But where will you move? You can't really move to another playground because you outgrown the playground. There is no space for you anymore in the playground. You have to decide, are you going home Or are you going each your own way? You can build a playground in your own home, but you have to be willing to go home first. Are you willing to go home? That's what this poem represents. Spoiler alert, I wrote the whole book. And this book became my home. Because the person at the end wasn't willing to take me home. His fears got better out of him, and it brought me my own home at the end. I'm not sure what's your situation, but maybe it's similar, maybe it is not, but I hope you will find your home. And it's good to remember, it's important to remember that you are your own home. It is so pleasant, and it must be so nice to go to somebody else's home, to spend the time with somebody in their home and bring also your home with you. But if they are not willing to, if they don't want to, then it's okay to go to your own home, to create your own home. And that's exactly what I did. And now I'm sharing this home. It can be found on Amazon. But if you are going through this, just remember that you are home. You are your own home, and you deserve to have home because you are loved, and you deserve to be loved. So yeah, this was The Shelter. Hopefully see you next time with another poem. We still have like 25 plus poems to go in this online diary of mine. There are already some published, so check those out. And hopefully see you next time, and have a nice day. Bye.